Hello everyone, this is Nathan Bryan and this is update number 22 of the Daruga Doris. Today I worked on organization. One of the most key points in having a clean and finished rig is having everything named and put into the proper folders. For this one, I've been naming it all along. Many beginner riggers will not name things as they go along, so they'll at this point have to go through and make sure everything has a clean and organized name. It is a lot better to do it beforehand, as some naming conventions, shifting of names and stuff like that, could end up with a breaking of the rig. So really try and name things as you go along. If you haven't, some cleaning up can be done right now. For me, I first separated everything into 4 categories. Joints, and that is obvious what it is. It separates the bind joints, IK joints into its own file. Geometry, which is the high poly, low poly, and then the other geometry like the teeth, eyes, tongue. All of that fits in here. And then there's a do not touch category. This has, follicles that were controlling the wings, follicles for any of the stretch objects. And it has IK planes, the reference group. This is for my reference images. I'm going to keep everything together until the last minute. Stretch group, these are the stretching curves for the wings. The IK handles and stuff like that all go in here in their own little category. The controls for the object, I have the master control, which is going to be able to move everything around in space. Let me turn off the high poly and give you the joints. So this is going to move everything around in space, including the polygon mesh. Be able to rotate it and put it into position before I even begin animating. And it's also going to have the option of scaling. That's where I have these two separated. Now, one are the directional curves that are giving me the direction of the pole vectors. Those do not need to be scaled, as they're already being controlled by the rig. And the other controls are everything else. These ones are going to be scaled directly. I've already set this up. There were a couple of problems that I ran into, and I'll show you that right now. So as I scale, you'll notice that some of the wing joints are scaling too far. Let me do that again for you. You notice that those are shifting around. Well, that is because of the curve info node that is scaling the curves that are controlling these joints. Let's show you what that looks like. What we had before was the curve putting information into the curve info, and then the curve info is exporting the length of the curve. And then through this condition node, we have the important node, which is the multiply divide. This divides the current length of the curve by the length of the curve without it stretching. The problem was, when we scale the creature, those lengths were changing. I have fixed this one, and we'll see this right here. See these 3 joints? You're going to see them staying still while the other ones are scaling. That's because I have fixed them. And the way that I did that was by bringing this curve, the master curve, right here, and pushing the number into another multiply divide node that's dividing the length of the curve by the scale of this object, the master object. This allows me to have a basic number that will always be 1 no matter what size it is. It will always be the same number as the original length. That way I can scale this to whatever size it needs to be. And it will remain the same size. So next time I'm going to fix it up for all of the rest of the wing joints and continue on with connecting the IK joint system with the bind joint system. The bind joint system will be the one that is controlling the actual model of the Darugodoros. So there you have it. That's my update for today. I know it was a little bit technical, but hopefully you were able to stay with me. Those of you who are beginning rigging, it is essential that you learn some of these things, as scaling rigs are especially important for characters that you aren't bringing in together into a scene. Say you make one character and somebody else makes another, but the other person made theirs several times larger than yours. You need to be able to scale yours up to match the size of your other character. Having this on the Darugodoros is important so that maybe I can build the scene to be about the same size, but decide later on it doesn't quite fit compositionally to have this creature be that size in this scene, so I need to scale it a little bit. So that's what I worked on today. I hope everyone is having a great afternoon, and happy rigging!